You just shot that football game or that sporting event, you're back at your computer, and all you want to do is jump into the edit and get creative. But sometimes you don't know what that first step should be. Here's my system that gets me from the shoot to the edit and being creative as quickly as possible while making sure that I review all my footage and I stay organized. Following these steps are going to allow you to be more organized game by game and have a better grasp of your overall footage, so when you get into the edit, you can be more creative right off the bat. Let's get to it. Jumping into Resolve here, the first thing I do is, after I've ingested the footage, and you can do this either in the media page or the edit page, it doesn't really matter. I go into the folder, and every clip I select from that shoot, and I add a scene name as the opponent. Save on that. In this case, I've just got one camera that I shot this game with. Sometimes I have two, but in this case it's just the one, so I'm just selecting everything in that camera folder of FX30. And then what I will do next is go down to the camera number, and I will type in FX30 on that and hit save. If you've got multiple cameras like I do in some of these other games, you can go ahead and just do that for each of the cameras that you've got. Next, I'll switch over to thumbnail view, and I will just go through the footage. Anything that is before the kickoff, I will just add a keyword to. Turn this down a little bit. So I select all the stuff I know is before kickoff, and I will add a keyword, pregame. And then you jump into the footage, and you're basically, what I'm doing is I'm just going through the footage real quick, and I'm looking for in and outs where plays are happening, and I generally will just jump to kind of the end of a clip, see how it finishes, and then I'll put an in point here. Select I for in, and then an out, and then I'll make a sub clip, and I just have a shortcut key. Number 9 is a shortcut key, so it's right above my in and out, I and O, and I'll just hit 9 and create sub clip. And I'm just really hammering through this pretty quickly. I've already done a couple of these. You can see there's my in and my out, 9, hit enter, sub clip. And like I said, I usually just jump to the end of a play. If it looks like something that might be worth keeping, I will keep it. As I'm going through each play, I'm really looking for things that, obviously it's a good play, but if it's a play that's on the other side of the field, I didn't really have a good angle of it, unless it's like a touchdown or an interception or something that is huge, I will generally not add that, as a sub clip. I just don't need. I really can't see it, so unless it was just a big play like a touchdown or something like that, I will generally leave that out. After you've been through all your footage and you've been through every play and you've selected and created sub clips, then what I do is I go up to the search field, I type in sub, looking for those sub clips. Search by clip name, and here's all my sub clips. I then create a SLX folder, a selects folder. I just call it SLX, underneath the camera that it's from, and I just drag all those clips into there. And really, at this point, all I'm working with is the clips that are in this selects folder. I never really have to go back and look at this original folder because I've already gone through and took out all the stuff that I know I want to at least potentially look at for my edit. I'm in here in this selects folder. The next thing I do is, and you could do this part when you're going through the initial part, but I tend to like to see this and know that these are all the clips I'm going to use, and then what you do is you just hammer through them, and I tag them with clip color, orange for offense, yellow for defense, and pink for touchdown. And then I tag them good take. If it's something that I know I probably want to have in my edit, I include it as a good take. So as I go through this, I'm just looking for it's offense, so I'm just going to hit orange for offense. Probably not a play I want in the edit, so I'm just going to leave it as a good take. I do wish that they had like a star system, and maybe they do, and I just don't know where it's at. But something where I could say that's a 5-star. Definitely want that in the edit. This is a 3-star. Potentially want this in the edit. But what I've been doing now is just anything kind of close, I'll put I'll mark it as a good take, and then I'll bring it into the edit, and then I kind of whittle down from there. So I go through each clip, and I'll tag, a player name, so I know that's McNabb, number 7, boom. So you can see here that I've added good takes to all these clips. I've tagged them with the player name and then also the clip color. if it denotes this. I also sometimes will add like if it's just a great shot, I have this it's called a banger. Like I really want to keep it. It's definitely something I want to look back for later. I'll put a flag on it. So I've got flags also. I'll tag things, anything that's relating to fans or cheerleaders or the band, I'll tag them as fans. Sometimes I'll tag things cinematic, and my cinematic bucket is pretty broad, meaning that it could be anything from just sort of like blurred out things I want to use for the background, or it's just sort of like maybe I don't exactly know what I want it where it goes, but it might be of use later, so I use that for that. So once you've been through all the footage, you've added your good takes, your keywords, and your clip colors. At this point, the keywords are great for later. I don't do much with them now, but if I need to go search for something later, I can do that. But right now, all I do is select my good takes, and then I'm able to drop those right on my timeline and start my edit. And that's it. The whole process might take a few hours, but I really found that it makes getting to the heart of the edit so much faster. You've been through all the footage, you know all the puzzle pieces that you've got to work with, and you really just can get to being creative. Plus, it really pays off down the line when you're searching for clips or when you're putting together that year-end highlight video. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. And again, if you have any suggestions for my process, I would love to hear them. Thanks so much. See you next time.